Well, welcome back to the allotment. It's the start of April and spring has arrived, and unfortunately so have the rabbits. So we've had quite a few of them on the allotment recently, and they started to eat one or two of our earlier crops. So David came up with an ingenious solution using a bit of netting left over from the fruit cage to stop them munching their way through some of our herbs. As it's the start of spring, then we've been getting the beds ready for planting, and yesterday I planted out on bed 1 here all the peas and beans. Well, we're here on bed 1, and this is going to be for the peas and beans, and we're growing a variety of peas called Feltham First, and set them in a sort of shallow trench, and about 10 peas per every 30 centimetres. So as you can see, I've already set up the first 2 trenches, and the first trench here has already been partly planted, and I'll finish doing the rest of this trench. Okay, this side of bed 1 we're planting out with broad beans. We've got Bunyard Exhibition on that row there, and on this one we've got a red broad bean, red epicure. So we'll hopefully get a good crop out of this lot. Well, one of the good crops that we had last year was onions, and this year we're growing them again, but in much bigger quantities. So we've got 7 rows, or about 350 onion plants in bed 2 here, but of course it took quite a bit to get the soil broken up and ready to get them all planted. Well, I'm pleased to say that the greenhouse is now in operation, and a couple of weeks ago we filmed the next clip where David showed us around where we were with all the different seeds.
Right, now we've got 5 pots of sweet peas, each with 5 seeds in, following on your idea of planting them in the runner beans. Well, the woman's blog's idea. That means there should be 25 plants, and we've still got more seeds. These are 10 seeds of a small cherry tomato called sweet olive. These are Brussels sprouts. Over here we've got 5 seeds from last year's cucumber plants. I don't know whether they'll do, but they've got 5 seeds here. Red cabbage, celeriac from last year, and gherkins from last year. Now, so we'll have to see how those seeds grow from last year. But the red cabbage, the Brussels sprouts and the tomatoes are new seeds for this year.
Well, that was 2 weeks ago, but time has moved on since then, and we've already had a number of successes here in the greenhouse. For example, down here the red cabbage seeds are coming through. The gherkin seeds, which we weren't entirely sure were going to germinate because they were from last year, they've actually started coming through as well. The celeriac is still waiting, and hopefully that'll come through in the near future. But also cucumber, which was planted a few weeks ago, and again we weren't sure was going to sprout. Well, it's actually started to sprout through, so hopefully that will be a success. Now, since we made the clip a couple of weeks ago, we've had our chilies arrive, and again these are a crop that we're looking to grow here in the greenhouse. And we've also got some sweet peas planted, and they're just starting to come through. We'll be planting them with the beans to encourage the bees and so on to come along and pollinate. and we've also got some herbs growing as well. Now, tomato plants are just starting to come through, so again that's one of the main crops that we'll have here for the greenhouse. And finally, this is probably the strangest of the crops that we're growing. Check this one. These are acorns that I gathered last year, and the idea is that these will be planted, we'll grow them into saplings and then hopefully into some trees, and it will be our carbon sink, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll soak up all our carbon. Well, a couple of months ago we thought we'd lost all our rhubarb, so we went out and bought a couple more sets to plant, and since then we've planted them, but also all the rhubarb that we thought had died has started to come through. So this entire patch now is one very large rhubarb patch, far bigger than we ever anticipated. And in fact we've actually found another bit of rhubarb growing on the other side of the allotment, which was there when we got the allotment 2 years ago, and was part of the over in the corner there, completely overgrown with brambles, but a small bit of rhubarb growing through, and that's started to grow back. So this year we're going to have an extremely large crop of rhubarb. Well, here we are on bed 5. This is where the potato crop is going to go, and as you can see, David has been hard at work digging it all over. Well, the new piece of equipment that we got this month installed was a set of water butts, and we've still got some more on order because we don't have a water supply directly onto the allotment, so we need to collect as much rainwater as we can. And of course, the moment that we had the water butts installed, it's stopped raining, so we've been continuing to bring water over from the house, and hopefully soon it will start raining. I know it's the Easter bank holiday coming up next week, so undoubtedly it will rain then, and we'll get our water butts filled up. So that's where we are at the start of April 2009, and see you in a month's time.